Hi everybody, it's Keith DeMoe here from Cobalt Tech, and today I'm going to walk through a short video on showing you how to get started working with the Tableau Connect solution. Alright, so you can see on my screen here I'm at tableau-connect.com, and what we're going to do is you probably, if you've had a chance anyway, you may have watched one of our other videos on the product itself. So we walk through, well, the product has three main components. Distribute Tableau dashboards to business objects users' inboxes. Now, when we send our Tableau workbooks to our business objects users' inboxes, they can receive it two ways. They can receive it in a file so that the user just opens up, they just require Tableau Reader to open up the Tableau workbook itself. So they'll have their interactive dashboard there available or in front of them. Or what we can do is if you do have one license of Tableau Server, we can leverage that license of Tableau Server for multiple users within business objects. So if you have 100 users, for example, they can actually open up their workbooks via a web browser, all right? And that only requires one license of Tableau Server. It's something that they have called Trusted Authentication. Now, I walked through another short video showing you how that works. It's a really cool feature because a user, when they log in, say, through their BI Launchpad, what they're doing is they have access to different folders with their different dashboards. But when they actually log in, you might have one main dashboard for them. And it could be an interactive dashboard with multiple pages, bar graphs, pie charts. If you know Tableau, it's got great visualizations. Anyway, check out the other video where I walk through that process and show you how how we send that workbook over to our users within business objects and them opening up through a web browser. All right, so the second part was to distribute Tableau dashboards to external email addresses. Now, I have another short webinar on that as well, where we set up the publication and we're distributing out the Tableau workbooks to email addresses. So a user just has to log into their email and they just open it up with Tableau Reader, which again, it's a free download. First part of this solution itself was, when we got started with it, was to distribute Tableau data extract files over to Tableau Server. So we have our Tableau environment over here. Now a user would have workbooks within Tableau, so when a user logs in, what we were able to do was to distribute a TDE file over to here, and it would refresh all these workbooks with the most current data available on that TDE. As well, they can also, a user logging in here can create an ad hoc type workbook with that Tableau data extract file available for them. All right? And again, all these publications can be set up in such a way that it's triggered on an event, so an ETL process finishes, and then that new TDE file gets sent out to those users. All right? Okay, so what I'm going to do, though, for the purposes of this video, is we're just going to get started with the product. How do we get running, up and running with the solution itself? Okay, so I'm going to just go over to our evaluation page. So you'll see these downloads here. We're going to open up this one specific tutorial. Now, I'm at the page where I need to be on this specific PDF, but this is for Tableau Connect with Tableau Server Tutorial Web Intelligence Document, Step 1. Okay, so there's something I need from here, and that's this class name right here. All right, so just keep that in mind. So what we're going to do first is I have an idea in my, of what I want to provide my users. So I need to create a workbook, right? So how do I go about creating that workbook? Well, I got to collect the data, the fields of data I'm going to require to populate that workbook. So whether I'm providing bar charts, pie charts, whatever it may be, I still have to have fields of data to create that workbook itself. Now, if you're in business objects, working with business objects, if you're working with Crystal Reports, you can use Crystal Reports. If you're using Webby or BW, you can use that as well. We just suggest that Web Intelligence is a great solution or great reporting tool where you can connect up to a universe and multiple data sources and access the data that you need. And what's really cool is we're going to be using that specific Webby. We're using the query capabilities that come with Webby, and that's the data that's going to get populated within the workbook on an ongoing basis. All right, so I'm going to log in as an administrator here. A lot of you would be familiar with Web Intelligence. We're going to run this right now. Okay, so I'm going to connect up to a specific universe here. This has all been set up, of course, for the demo. All right, we're going to use this one. Okay. So I'm just going to move all these fields of data over to here. We're going to run this query. Now remember, this part, we just need to collect the data itself, create a Web Intelligence document, create a Webby report, and with this Webby report, this has all the data we need, all right, to start with our workbook. So I'm going to save this into our Business Objects folder. We're going to go to our Tableau folder over here where I have full demo set up. We're going to call this Spring 2017, all right? All right, great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our CMC. I'm going to log in here as an administrator. Go in my folder section. Go to Tableau, full demo. All right, there it is, Web Intelligence Spring 2017. Now, what I need to do is I want to create a Tableau data extract file. So I'm going to send that over to my inbox within Business Objects, and I'm going to use a publication to do that. And that's where we're going to plug in our Tableau Connect solution to create that Tableau data extract file. Now, when I set that up, I have Tableau server up here, as you can see, and one of the things, we can also send a TDE, a Tableau data extract file, over to here, all right, with that same publication. But I have that, I explain that in another video. But just to take a back up for a moment, when I collected that data from Web Intelligence, if I wanted to save that in Excel and import that into Tableau Desktop, I can do that as well, okay? But in this case, we're going to create a Tableau data extract file. Now, one thing to make clear is you do need Tableau Desktop to create your workbook. So you need one license to do that, all right? Now, if you do already have Tableau server licensing, well, then you don't need a Tableau Desktop license to do that, because you can actually create your workbooks within Tableau server and then save them back into Business Objects. And I'm going to walk through these steps right now, all right? So let's start with setting up a publication. All right, we're going to call this Spring 2017. All right, test source document. Well, let's go at our Spring 2017 Webby report, where it's located. There it is. Okay, we'll use that. Okay, I'm going to send it to the administrator email. Okay, so if we were using email addresses, we'd be using dynamic recipients. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's connect that up by UNX. All right, that's fine. BI inbox, destination. Now, Tableau Connect here, see it? Okay, so remember when I said keep this in mind over here, this class name? We ought to take this here, and we're going to actually plug that into here. So this is where the solution does all the work, okay? We're going to add this. So it's going to take that Webby document that we have, and it's going to create a Tableau data extract file. All right, so, and I think that's it. That's all we need to do here. Just to make sure, source document, everything seems fine. Administrator, great. So let's just save and close that. All right, good. So now what we want to do, we have our publication here. We're going to run this publication. Okay, so let's run that. All right, so keep in mind, When I send this over to our, I'm going to be that our administrator, go over to our inboxes here, administrator, okay, is going to be receiving the TDE file, and it's going to come here. Let's go back over to our folders for a moment. So when I click on that Tableau data extract file itself, what will happen is, because I have Tableau desktop on this actual laptop itself, we're just going to default right over to Tableau desktop, and it'll open it up for us, okay? And then that's where I create my workbook. All right? Once I create that workbook, the idea behind this is I'm going to store it back into the folder here, all right? And what we've defined, when we set up the publication itself, you know, the source document happens to be, well, this specific web intelligence, but you're lining everything up within your folders itself so that the publication knows to go and access a specific workbook, all right? And you can organize it however you want to organize it, because we're working with many, sending out many Tableau workbooks, and you can have all kinds of publications set up to do that, right? So that each user is going to be, typically when they're logging into their BI Launchpad, they'll have it organized, their folders organized accordingly, all right? And, but I'm just showing you right now how we're going to just get started with the product. So let's open this up here, running. Okay, still running. Okay. So let's go to our inbox. Administrator. Yep, there we go. We got our TDE file here, all right? So I'm going to click on that. Again, we're going to default over to our Tableau desktop. And again, just if you have Tableau server already, you'd be using that, all right? You wouldn't be using Tableau desktop. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm not going to create a workbook. I have other videos where I have a, you know, a much better example, obviously, for me distributing out our Tableau workbooks to our BI Launchpad, the user, so when they log in, they'll have their main dashboard right when they log in, which is actually really cool, and they can navigate around that main dashboard however you set that up, and of course they can go to their document section and look at the different folders that they'll have available, right? So, and I'll just quickly show you that as well, but just for the purposes of this video here, we're just going to do this, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to save this, or export package workbook, all right? I'm going to call it Spring 2017. Save it on our desktop. Save. Okay, so now we can get out of here. All right, good. So let's go back over to our folder. And what I want to do now is I want to bring in that specific Tableau workbook, right? So local documents. There we go. All right, so we're going to add that. Good. Now, the publication itself, because it's been named, where are we here? Okay, so this is it here, Spring 2017. So this is you have agnostic here because Business Objects doesn't recognize it as a Tableau workbook, but our solution does. So what it's doing is when we set up this publication, it's going to know to come over to here, all right, and actually populate this specific workbook and send it out to the users that we want to send it out. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to jump back in this publication, and that's, let me go over Enterprise Recipients here. I'm going to add our users here to this publication. All right, so let's move these guys over. Okay, good. So save and close. Excellent. So now we'll go back to our publication, and we're going to run it again. So what we're doing is when we run that publication, it knows to go out and take Tableau Workbook that I keep clicking on the Superstar, the spring one. It knows to go out and actually take this Tableau Workbook, populate it with the data. And again, in this specific publication, I didn't really distinguish, security rights and who receives what. We have another video where I'll walk through that. But if you're familiar with setting up a publication, you would know how to do that. So each user, of course, would only receive the data within that specific Tableau Workbook. So Tableau Workbook could look the same with all the same bar charts, pie charts, whatever it may be, but it's containing different data, okay, specific for the user. All right, so let's see where we're at with this. History. Okay, it's running. Okay. So now, if we go over to our inboxes here, okay, great. So this is what we get, our TWBX file, and this is what each user is going to get, their specific TWBX file, all right, sent over to them, all right? And so this is when they click on this, in this case here, they would be opening up this with Tableau Reader. Now, as I'd mentioned, with Tableau Server, if you have one license of Tableau Server, when a user logs in to, like if we have a business or if they're logging in through their BI Launchpad, okay, then what they can do is, let me just log out of here. Okay, so we'll log in, go to Documents, Tableau Connect, and you'll see right now a folder's been created for Spring 2017. Okay, same thing. So they'll get, well, actually in this case we do have a hyperlink set up. Yep, there you go. That was that dashboard that I created. Okay, but take a look at the other video I have set up, and I walk through where I'm logging in as a user, and I'll have an actual main dashboard for that user when they get to their login through their BI Launchpad. Other than that, take a look at the other videos where I walk through some of the other items of the solution itself. And if you do want to have it set up an evaluation, or if you want to look at an evaluation, contact me and I'll set you up with an evaluation. I'll help you install the solution itself, and we'll get you up and running with it, okay? And if you already do have Tableau workbooks, that will be fine too. It's just a matter of creating the Webby report that's actually going to populate the data within that specific workbook that you already have set up, okay? Other than that, thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and have yourself a great rest of the day. Thanks. Bye.